Benga was talking about how important it is across countries around the world to be able to efficiently move funds. Not sure about Libra. What's your reaction?
I think he's probably right, potentially right, in a sort of a narrow sense of the word, this implementation, this idea. But broadly speaking, Libra represents the right direction. We all eventually believe we're going to go to cashless economies. Financial interchange is going to happen without, dollar bills that have traces of cocaine on them. So maybe it will not happen with Libra. I think the more constructive way to look at it is to say, hey, disruption is happening. The world's going to change. We all need to get together and figure out what it's going to look like.
Do motives matter? Because part of what he brought up was the business model. I mean, a lot of companies are doing things not because they actually care about that thing, because they want to be involved in finance or currency, but because they want to gather attention and keep people on their platform. Is that important as we look at how these systems develop?
Yes. My personal view is that the competition in this particular case is not at the level of companies, at the level of nation states. U.S. has the benefit of being the world's reserve currency. We should lead, convert the dollar economy into digital dollar economy and allow that to percolate worldwide. At the company level, of course, we're all in a business, just like Affirm is, of trying to build a large audience, make money, and you can question that. On the flip side, technology companies are good at innovating, good at disrupting, good at building new things. I think engaging them and bringing them into the government fold as we figure out what the future looks like is a good idea.
I find that really fascinating, what you just said, this idea the U.S. is leading and basically create this system that you can allow to percolate worldwide. What would that look like and how realistic is it?
I think we already transact electronically significant amount of time just through international markets being largely digital. Forcing the last mile of all payments must be digital payments, I think, is going to be enough to drive that point home. My own company, we transact all of our transactions digitally at this point. There's no paper changing hands, and doesn't seem to be a problem at all. People enjoy it just the same.
Give us the latest on Affirm and the challenges and strides that you're making. For people who aren't familiar, it's a different way of dealing with debt, I think particularly targeting the younger generation. Are people using it for things that they weren't using it for a year or so ago? And do you have enough data to determine whether the habits are healthier? Because it seems like some debt accumulation is again getting out of control.
Yes. So 2019 was a fantastic year for us. We doubled again and have been doubling for many years now. It does appeal to the younger generation, and for those who don't know, it is a better way to pay. The most important thing that led to the beginnings of Affirm and what keeps on fueling our growth is a very, very clear trend among young shoppers, young buyers, for more transparency, better clarity of understanding of how payments actually work, especially when it comes to paying over time or credit. Because unlike credit cards, Affirm does not charge late fees, does not charge any kind of hidden fees. On the flip side, credit cards, their business model is their fine print. Like, it's literally right in there in 4-point font telling you if you're not on time, you're going to get screwed. So our mission has always been, let's bring transparency, partner with retailers to bring more transactions to them. It is spreading very rapidly. 3 years ago, we were not at all engaged in things like fashion and beauty. Today, it's our fastest growing industry. So the whole idea of transparent way to pay is spreading like wildfire from my point of view.
That's a big part of Goldman's marketing with this Apple Card. Do you feel like they've stolen some stuff from you?
I don't really care who invents the ideas. The mission we're on is that for transparency and ease and simplicity and control for the end customer, while contributing to the merchant ecosystem, making sure that they are able to sell more things. If the idea spreads and companies like Goldman Sachs, which we look up to, it's a financial behemoth, adopts the model, they can have my marketing line. That's fine.
How are you thinking about interest rates right now?
I think it's still a benign climate and continues to be. My guess is it's not changing very much. It's probably good for the economy.
Does it affect Affirm when you see interest rates come down and get, I don't know, 10-year at 1.5%?
Like any financial institution, it doesn't take deposits. We are a little bit of a slave to the prime rate, so the cost of capital comes down, comes up. It changes the consumer unit pricing.
Talk to me about the legacy of PayPal. People who've been following the space for a long time will be familiar with the term PayPal Mafia. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, the YouTube founders, you, Jeremy Stoppelman, you can go down the line, the entrepreneurs, the number of people who really kind of cut their teeth at PayPal and went on to do big things. What is the legacy of PayPal in that sense? Because it was a big problem at the time. Digital money, it arguably is as big as space or electric vehicles are today. Is the legacy tackling big problems, maybe? Is it something else? What do you think?
It's always hard to describe your own legacy from the inside. Look, I hope my legacy is being built. Maybe this company.
I am the greatest in history.
I'm certainly not the greatest in history, but I'd like to contribute something.
Right.
I think we got extraordinarily lucky. We got together a whole bunch of really ambitious, bright kids 20 odd years ago, and now none of us are. Have kids of our own. And we were very young and very stupid and decided that big problems we're not too scared to tackle. And we all got in the habit of trying to reach for the stars in the case of Elon, literally. So I think it's a lot of pride and a lot of sort of gratitude for having the opportunity to be a part of that.
I got to ask about Affirm. Plans to go public?
A company is 8 years old. At some point, your investors start making hints and elbow gestures. So at some point, yes. I'm not in a huge hurry, but I think the biggest curse a Silicon Valley company or any technology company can do to itself is go public at a valuation that's somewhere between $2 and $5 billion. Once you clear that, your stock becomes a little bit more stable, but the volatility you take on as a $2 billion stock, $1 billion stock, you wake up the next morning and you're suddenly half your valuation. So the volatility is probably the primary reason companies like mine are hesitating.
We talked about Elon. You drive a Tesla?
I do not drive a Tesla yet, although I'm in the process of converting to one. It's been in 3 versions, so now I feel confident.
Okay, what about the stock? Topping 700 after quite a run over a while. Do you look at that? Do you think about that in terms of the PayPal mafia and what you guys are achieving?
And I cannot take more pride in Elon's success. I think he's amazing. I think the Tesla stock drives a Tesla. I mean, that thing is just going faster and faster. It's amazing. Elon is brilliant all the time. He's crazy half the time, and it's your job to figure out which half you're looking at right now.
Well, I'm sure he's happy to hear that you're looking at the car
We're close friends. I have nothing but.
And we apologize for asking you about him every time you're on.
I love the guy.
Yeah.
He's forced unto himself.
I promise next time he comes on, we'll ask him about you.